So check yourself. What areas of your life seem like if you could step back, and this is always the tough one, self-awareness. If you could step back and do an objective look at your life, which I don't know that I could have answered this when I had no emotional intelligence and I had no self-awareness. What areas of your life, what decision-making processes, what thought processes, what mindsets, what emotions or behaviors or themes or trends do you have in your life that don't seem mature, that don't seem adult-like or grown up? Welcome to the EQ Gangster podcast, where you will learn practical tools to grow your mental and emotional health and intelligence to be the best version of yourself, both at work and at home. It is real, raw, and transformational. The journey of emotional growth isn't easy, but it's worth it. I believe in you. This episode is sponsored by Arrowhead Leadership Consulting. What are your organization's biggest pain points right now? Low EQ leaders, weak managers, toxic culture, high turnover, low engagement, leader development, lagging behind company growth, no company career path. Let us know if your organization needs leadership coaching, workshops, training, or keynotes. Visit arrowhead-leadership.com for more details. Arrowhead-leadership.com. EQ Gangsters. So great to see you guys. Sorry, for my YouTube folks, my lighting looks a little funny on the camera. I'm not sure what that's all about. Yes, traveling in another hotel room. Super stoked about the topic today: the failure to grow up. The failure to grow up. So it's going to be a few points, handful of points from Dr. Henry Cloud's book, Changes That Heal, which I've just finished. I'm going back through, and just a tremendous amount of points that, fortunately or unfortunately, very hugely resonated with me and my journey that I'm currently on. Super thankful for solid white albacore tuna. I'm thankful for hard-boiled eggs. I'm thankful for my five senses. I'm thankful for sun and sweat and gyms, places to work out. I'm thankful for the rain. I'm thankful for blue skies and clouds and space. I'm so thankful for space. I think about space a lot. And just about the wisdom of man is foolishness to God. There's a verse, I don't know what Bible verse it is, but it says that. I'm like, man, that's so powerful. There's so much about the world that we still don't know. We're 2025, and so much that we don't know. And we act like we know, and we don't. So I'm thankful for space. I'm thankful for galaxies and stars. I'm thankful for all the mysteries of the world that we don't know, and that we will never know in our lifetimes, or who knows what lifetime we may ever discover and what we will never discover. I'm thankful for God's love and grace and forgiveness and compassion and patience and goodness and gentleness and kindness. I'm thankful for his parenting. I'm thankful for people that can write books. I'm thankful for technology. I'm thankful for learning and wisdom. I'm thankful for failure and humility and values and goals and dreams and all the different people in the world. Thankful for different cultures, different thoughts, different ideas. I'm thankful for colors. I'm thankful for ears and jujitsu and beards. I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful for clarity of thinking. I'm thankful for computers and phones. I'm thankful for relationships. I'm thankful for my awesome family. I'm thankful for friends. I'm thankful for real friends. I'm thankful for friends that were born for adversity. I'm thankful for electricity and books and podcasts and insights and wisdom. Okay, one of the many lessons and journeys that God has me on is growing me up in areas that I had not given God access to since childhood. And I'm being very specific and serious. So one of my emotional injuries, traumatic injuries, was when I was 5. So I stopped growing at 5 emotionally until I went to my first set of therapy, and that probably got me to age 10 emotionally. So that was a big breakthrough. Lots of growth. But I capped out at between 10 and 16 because that was my next kind of in my brain journey and experience, my next kind of traumatic experience. I say traumatic. It's when I developed my self-image and my self-esteem, and I made some conclusions and some decisions when I was from the ages of 10 to 16 that were not based was not based on an accurate narrative, which is a whole nother ballgame. So many of my decisions that I made all the way up until I was 50 were based on a narrative that I started when I was 10. And so when that happens, we don't grow emotionally beyond that narrative or that trauma unless we go back and intentionally heal those areas and realize those narratives that are operating in the background. Well, I didn't in a number of areas of my life. And so that played out in that played out. That narrative wreaked havoc in a number of areas of my life that had extreme and fairly catastrophic consequences. And that's what happens when we hide, or in my case, again, I didn't know this narrative was even operating. Uh, no, that's not totally true. I knew to a degree that it was operating. I didn't know where it came from. So I didn't know how to fix it. Well, as a result, I did not grow up in a number of areas of my life. So in a number of areas of my life, I was still a 50-year-old emotional 10-year-old. Now, thankfully, it was more than 5 years old, but it was still an adolescent in a number of different areas. So check yourself. What areas of your life seem like, if you could step back, and this is always the tough one, self-awareness. If you could step back and do an objective look at your life, which I don't know that I could have answered this when I had no emotional intelligence and I had no self-awareness. What areas of your life, what decision-making processes, what thought processes, what mindsets, what emotions or behaviors or themes or trends do you have in your life that don't seem mature, that don't seem adult-like or grown up? I mean, for me, it was finances. For me, it was relationships. For me, it was my view of God in my marriage, in my parenting, in my dealing with relationships. If someone crossed me, and this is one that I still kind of have, I've got to work through. I would do something called PNG, persona non grata. If someone crossed me, I just, they didn't exist to me anymore. I was done with them. And I know that's a survival mechanism and a coping mechanism, but that's what I would do. And I didn't know what. I mean, again, that's what I'm still working on, but it's a childlike way to deal with relationships. That's not how adults should deal with stuff. I should be able to have conflict and be comfortable in conflict. If I was totally mature and comfortable in my relationship with the Lord and comfortable in my own skin, then I should be comfortable addressing conflict. So that's another great one. How do you feel in conflict? Do you want to run from it? Do you want to avoid it? Or is that an adult, mature way to think? When somebody hurts you, how do you process it? Do you process it more like a child would, or do you process it more like maybe an adult would? And I know some of these questions are hard to even answer, especially if you're in a jacked up state of mind like I have been in the past. These questions would have been very hard for me to answer. What I want to share with you all today is there are consequences for not exposing areas of our life that we stopped growing in childhood. There's consequences for being an adult biologically, but emotionally a child or an adolescent or a teenager. There are consequences that will show up if they haven't already. They will show up. So in Changes That Heal, YouTube folks, check it out. Boom. Changes That Heal, Dr. Henry Cloud. Highly, 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 highly recommend. Chapter 15, When We Fail to Grow Up. Symptoms of an inability to become an adult. Inordinate need for approval. I'm raising my hand for those of you all that are listening on the podcast. That is 100% used to be me. Fear of disapproval. I'm raising my hand for those of you all that are on the podcast. That used to 100% be me. Guilt. For those of you all on the podcast, I'm raising my hand. That was 100% me. Another one is sexual struggles. There are some aspects of that I can relate with, but not fully. Fear of failure, 100%. That was me. Need for permission. I'm still raising my hand. That 100% was me. This one I can't relate with, but it's you can't do that syndrome. Authority-bound people tend to stifle creativity. They over-identify with their limiting and punitive parent, always giving restrictions and rules. They haven't thrown off their parents' restrictions and found their own. They are like robots who do whatever their parents say, even at age 40. But again, that one is not me. Feelings of inferiority, 100% also was me. Let's see. They tend to think that someone else is always better in some way or always is a model for them. They never feel equal. Again, that's the inferiority. This one does not relate with me, but it's one of them on the list here in the book. Competitiveness. Let's see. People who have never established equality with their parents act out unresolved competitive issues. The next one is loss of power. Those who have not become an adult either repeatedly give away power in relationships or feel like they are losing power. So I did the first one, either repeatedly giving away power in relationships. That was me. They give all their power to the other person and then obey this person like a parent. That was 100% me. Another one, no equal differences. People who live in a one up and one down world rarely consider differences acceptable. That one was not me. Another one, black and white thinking. People who can only see the world as black and white, right or wrong, are stuck in a pre-adult way of thinking. They are unable to think in terms of gray. There are no tough moral dilemmas. Everything is simple. If the rule says it, do it. They are so preoccupied with the rules and right and wrong, they could not get to wisdom, truth, and love. People who are stuck here adhere to rules that have an appearance of wisdom, but are worthless to bring about maturity. That one is not me either. Judgmentalism, also not me. Well, it was my first when I was in high school. This was definitely me, but not as an adult. Anxiety attacks. Both generalized and specific anxiety can be related to authority problems because anxious people fear disapproval externally as well as internally. Generalized anxiety signals something dangerous about to emerge into one's consciousness. People who suffer anxiety attacks often fear disapproval from the parental conscious. Fascinating. I don't know that I've had anxiety attacks, maybe a couple, but not consistently. This next one definitely is me. Impulsiveness and inhibition. Some of the time was me. Superiority is another one. That one is not me. Parenting others, also not me. Hate for authority figures. That one, I have definitely had a disdain for authority figures. And depression, absolutely, 100%. That one was me. Dependency, absolutely, was me. Some people actively avoid taking responsibility for themselves and find someone to parent them. They give executive power of their life to someone else. People who always need someone else to make decisions for them and to do things for them lack self respect and usually are angry and resentful of the parent figures who are keeping them from growing up. That was me. Idealization of authority, absolutely me also. The perception that someone in authority is perfect presupposes a one down position because people who have identified with authority realize that authority figures are just like them with warts and all. Idealized authority figures are not expected to have weaknesses and faults as well as strengths, even though the scripture Bible tells us they will. And then, so that one was definitely me. And then idealization of childhood, that one is not me. And then it goes to the barriers to becoming an adult. Distorted thinking in regarding to our view of ourselves, in regarding to our view of others, in regarding to our view of God, and in our view of the world. So anyway, that chapter, and then the next chapter is learning to become mature adults, which is also fire. So anyway, I just wanted to share some of those thoughts with you guys. Do you have aspects or areas of your life that you haven't grown up yet, even in your adulthood? Guys, and again, it's embarrassing to share this stuff with you guys because I'm 50, and to think that I haven't grown up in aspects of my life is mind-boggling. But it's true. I mean, I wish it was not true, but it's true. It is embarrassing, and it is a little bit of shameful, embarrassing, shameful, shame. Yeah, disappointing, sad, discouraging, frustrating, upsetting. It's led to real consequences that are 100% my fault. And one of the things is, right, what happened to us in our childhood is not our fault, but it is our responsibility to heal and grow from. I just wish that I had learned this stuff 20, 30 years ago. I didn't. And so I am still very much on this journey. So do a maturity audit. What are the areas in your life that you might not have revealed or exposed since childhood, thus causing those areas of your life to remain in a locked or stuck state in that time period that you develop that coping mechanism or survival mechanism. Get that out in the open. Start working on that expose that. Let it be known to God. Hey, God, man, this is a few areas that I have kept away from you, and start working on it. Start journaling. Get help if you need professional help. Get coaching. Thank you guys for letting me be a part of this journey with you all. Super grateful. If this was a helpful episode, please share it. But I'm very grateful for you guys.